Look, there are probably like 50 VPNs out there claiming to be the best for gaming. And I tested the main ones on Steam, and most of them made my ping worse. Not slightly worse, but worse. One of them took me from 15 ms to 280 ms mid-ranked match, and I got kicked before I could even disconnect it. But here's the thing, that wasn't actually the VPN's fault. There's a specific reason almost every gaming VPN review gets this wrong, and it comes down to one setting that changes everything. Now I'll show you exactly what it is, but first, the 3 VPNs that actually held up when I ran the numbers, well, let's go through them. All 3 deals are in the description below. NordVPN is 74% off plus 3 free months. Surfshark is 60% off plus 3 free months as well. And Proton is 70% off with a 30-day refund. Scan the QR code on screen or grab it from the description below. All right, so here's how this all started. I was on a restricted network, the kind that throttles Steam downloads to basically nothing. And someone had told me to just throw a VPN on it. I grabbed the first free one I found, jumped into a session, and watched my ping climb from 15 ms to 280 ms in about 30 seconds, and I got kicked. So I went and actually tested the major ones properly. Same connection, same game server in New York, same time of day for every test. The no VPN baseline was 15 ms ping and around 480 Mbps on download. Those are the numbers everything else gets measured against. So what I found is that the VPN wasn't always the problem. The main problem was how I was running it. Now, there's a fix, and I'll get to it whenever I cover Surfshark, because I think that's where it matters most. In fact, it does matter most there. Now, NordVPN is the best overall for gaming and benchmark everything else gets compared to. On the New York servers I used for every test, ping went from my baseline of 15 ms up to 18 ms with NordVPN active. That is a 3 ms increase. In a competitive shooter, that is genuinely undetectable. Download speed retained at around 460 Mbps, which is a 4% drop from my 480 Mbps baseline. A 60 gigabyte Steam game that would take 13 minutes without a VPN took only about 14 minutes with NordVPN on. So that's the real world gap you're seeing there. But that performance comes from NordLynx, their protocol built on WiredGuard. It's the reason the numbers stay that tight. I tested across 3 server locations, and the ping held with 5 ms of baseline every time. No sudden spikes mid-session, no packet loss that I could measure. There's also MeshNet, which lets you set up a private LAN over the internet with friends. Useful for older games that only support local network multiplayers like some of the old Halo games. And with 10 Gbps servers across their networks, large Steam downloads never bottleneck, not even once. Now, the flaw is the 10 device limit. Most people won't hit it, but a desktop, Steam Deck, and a laptop is already 3 devices. Worth knowing before you commit. This is the one that I use though. 74% off plus 3 free months. Link is in the description, or you can just simply scan the QR code on screen. Now, Proton is the right call if you play a lot of peer-to-peer multiplayer games, and the numbers were close to NordVPN, a lot closer than I expected. On the same New York server, ping came in at 22 ms versus my 15 ms baseline, and that's a 7 ms increase. And it's really only noticeable if you're playing something that's extreme latency sensitive. But in the hour I spent in an actual session, and I never felt it affect my gameplay. Now, download speed retained at around 440 Mbps, which is an 18% drop from baseline compared to Nord's 4%. Still well within usable range for gaming. It's not an issue. Now, where Proton actually pulls ahead of NordVPN for certain gamers is port forwarding. Most VPNs drop this feature quietly. Proton still has it though. Here's what it means practically. In a peer-to-peer multiplayer game, without port forwarding, your connection is trying to reach another player through a door that's locked from their side. With port forwarding enabled, that door is open. Lobby joins were noticeably faster in the P2P titles I tested. Matchmaking found games quicker. In one fighting game I tested specifically, my connection failure rate dropped from around 1 in 5 attempts to essentially 0. Now, the stealth protocol is also worth knowing about if you're gaming on a campus or office network. It makes your traffic look like standard HTTPS, so it doesn't get flagged or blocked. No workarounds needed. But now the flaw is the pricing. At standard rates, it runs steeper than Surfshark for long-term plans. The 70% off deal and 30-day refund fix that, kind of. If it doesn't work for your specific setup, you're not stuck with it. Now, link is in the description below. Before I get into Surfshark numbers though, this is where I need to explain the thing I mentioned at the start, because it directly changes what the numbers actually mean. Split tunneling. Every VPN on this list supports it. Almost nobody uses it. What it does is lets you choose exactly which apps go through the VPN and which ones don't. When I ran Surfshark without it, all traffic through the tunnel at once. Steam, Discord, browser, everything. My ping at that same New York server came in at 28 ms, and download speed dropped to around 410 Mbps. 15% speed reduction and nearly double the ping increase versus NordVPN. That's the number most reviews show, and it's why Surfshark gets written off for gaming. But with split tunneling on, Steam only through the VPN, Discord and browser on my normal connection, ping came back down to 21 ms and speed retained at 435 megabytes per second Mbps. That's a 9% drop from baseline. Still behind Nord's 4%, but in actual gaming session, the difference between 18 ms and 21 ms ping is not something a human can perceive. It's the same test, completely different results, just because of one setting, split tunneling. Now, the actual reason Surfshark earns its spot, which is unlimited simultaneous connections, NordVPN caps you at 10 devices. Surfshark has no cap. Desktop, Steam Deck, laptop, all covered under one subscription at the same price. Now, if you're running Steam across more than one machine, nothing else on this list makes financial sense compared to it. Now, the dedicated IP option is also worth knowing about. When you share a server IP with hundreds of other users, Steam sometimes flags your login as suspicious activity. Now, a dedicated IP is just yours. No warning messages, no anti-cheat, false positives. It's a small add-on that removes a headache before it starts if you play competitive games. Now, the trade-off is server coverage. Surfshark's network is smaller than NordVPN's, so in most regions, you'll be completely fine. But if you're in a less common area targeting a specific game server, well, NordVPN just has more options. Now, it's 60% off plus 3 free months, link in the description below, or you can scan the QR code, that's for Surfshark. All right, okay, so here's the full picture. No VPN active, baseline, 15 ms ping, 480 Mbps, NordVPN 18 ms, 460 Mbps, Proton 22 ms, 440 Mbps, Surfshark with split tunneling on, 21 ms, 435 Mbps. All three are usable for competitive gaming, like easily. The free VPN I tested first, 280 ms and a kick session, that's the actual gap that matters. NordVPN is the best overall, tightest ping, least speed loss, most consistent across every server I tested. If P2P multiplayer is your main thing and port forwarding matters, now Proton is the stronger call. But of course, if you're covering multiple matches, Surfshark with split tunneling on is the move. Whichever one you go with, split tunneling is the first thing you turn on. Steam through the VPN, Discord off of it. That's the difference between the numbers I just showed you and the numbers that got me kicked from the ranked match. I tested them all. NordVPN just does it better. That's really all you need to know.